Listen. We got some breaking news to discuss. Listen, my man Max B is home. We got to discuss a lot. Salute to all y'all that's in the building right now. If you're rocking with Flight Sports TV, I want to discuss something with the people. A lot of people that don't know, you know, Flight Sports TV before we got into the basketball. If you look at some of my earlier videos, we was discussing Max. There's a lot of things I do want to talk about involving this topic. I haven't got a chance to talk about it. But seriously, man, Max B coming home. This is some serious breaking news, y'all. The boss Don Bigavelli is back in the flesh. Max B, man, when he went got locked up, that was a real traumatic situation for New York City. Um, Believe it or not, Max was definitely my favorite rapper at the time of his, sentencing. When caught that time, that was just wild. The whole time period when Max was going through the whole situation, he couldn't get a deal. We all know all that stuff was compromised due to the situation with the case. Nobody really could touch Max. It is, as you can see, Max B was greeted, by a lot of family and friends. The first people to greet Max was obviously, you see French Montana, you see his wife, you see his kids. I've seen a lot of things like that. A lot of people, like myself included, I just want to hear some new music coming from Max B. Max B is home, ladies and gentlemen. The boss Don Bigavel is back. He's coming from, New Jersey State Prison. Can Max B come back and save hip hop? Hip hop is just in a terrible situation. Prior to Max going, Max was definitely going to be next out of New York. We all know he had a lot coming to him. If you see what French did, I mean, that's any indication of what Max was going to do. Whatever French did, I would say double that times two. That's what Max was gonna do prior to him getting locked up. And I love the fact that one of the first people to greet Max was French. A lot of people don't give French credit for holding it down, while Max was locked up, because he had to sustain, somewhat of Max's legacy. I'm keeping it 100 with you because, when Max went to jail, I mean, it was just a traumatic situation. I was listening to all of those tapes. Everybody know the public domains and all of that crazy stuff. Um, Hopefully Max could stay out of all of the beef, that could potentially arise from all of this. We all know Jim Jones. That seems to be the hot topic of the situation, because we all know Jim Jones had posted, you know, um, a situation about Max B, just pretty much urging people not to attend his situation. We're gonna get into that as well. I wouldn't say that he was urging people, but you did hear a lot of situations. Salute to all y'all that's in the chat right now. We're discussing Max B right now. I repeat, Max B has been released from New Jersey State Prison. This was a Harlem rap legend. We got to acknowledge that. I think we got to put all that into proper perspective. Shout out to Cinny44 in the chat. He said, need French Montana Max B tape. I think that's obvious. If you want to celebrate Max B, I got the link in the chat right now. If you want to get on the panel and discuss what Max B brought to you, what Max B brought to New York City, what he brought to all around the world. A lot of people, Max was worldwide. He was establishing a lot of connections prior to his arrest. Max, and to see what he's doing right now, I'm telling you right now, it is truly something to watch, because he's already working already. The man got all types of appearances, all types of stuff lined up. The man is working right now as we speak. The man just got out. He's doing all kind of shoots. He's live. He's got a show tonight. Also a welcome home party. He's got welcome home parties just about every other day, every weekend this month and next month. I mean, this thing is just all booked up. Max was just on live talking about his schedule is all full. So that is something, to behold. Pause. that this guy is gonna work like this. The work ethic is still there. People don't remember when Max went to jail. Before he went to jail, he was releasing tape after tape after tape, single, feature. Max was doing a lot, DVD. It was always work. Some type of product. He was always in your face. Pause. Whether it was something. So I want to see now. As we fast forward to a whole new rap generation. You know, what can Max B do, in this climate? This climate is definitely a little bit different, in my humble opinion. It's definitely not, the same, but I do believe that Max could come in, to this hip hop game and establish some real shit. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I got my man Kulos P in the building, whipping. Max B is home. What's your thoughts on Max getting released today? This Flight Sports TV. Talk to the people.
Shout out Flight Sports TV. Max being released today it's beautiful for the culture, man. We've been waiting for this. All real Max B fans know they've been waiting on this day. You know what I mean? And it was looking grim and slim for a while, but the time
Yeah, it was definitely looking crazy. Like you said, shout out to Kulos P on the panel right now, experiencing some technical difficulties. Max B being released today. This is something special. If you know anything about New York City hip hop, this is a big ordeal. Shout out, listen, rest in peace, Chinks, rest in peace, Stack Bundles. This is that era. You understand? Max was a trailblazer, of that whole era, that whole run. Max don't get enough credit for anything. Max don't get enough credit for the style that he brought to this game in the first place. A lot of things that we hearing today, a lot of the sounds, a lot of all of that is due to Max. Shout out to Kulos. You had some technical difficulties. What was you saying about Max B? Talk to the people. Uh, shout out to Kulos. But like I said, Max B is home. This is some real shit. Free the boss down, Bigger Valley. He's home in the flesh. A lot of people thought this wasn't gonna happen, and it finally happened. Cool, Los, you back? You back with us? What's
I'm
the
back.
deal
I'm
with
back.
Max? Yeah. Talk to the people about Max. Coming home. What's your thoughts on the situation?
I was just saying that I definitely believe it's gonna be great for the culture, the music industry. It's gonna be great, and all real Max B fans know they've been waiting on this day, and it's finally come. It's been over 10 years. But the wave is back. I seen dudes talking a little shit. I seen they had the Jim Jones and Mano talking or whatever the case may be is, but like I said, man, they once the wave is released, it's gonna be unstoppable. I'm see most of what's gonna drop though. I was just telling him that being that Max has been away for so long, him coming out ain't gonna sound like nothing that's out. You know what I mean? And I think that's gonna be the most interesting part. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited, man.
Yeah, me too, man. You talking about that Max gonna give people that's nothing out right now. A lot of people feel like Max not gonna be able to come back and reclaim the wave. This is a new era in music. How can Max, come in the game and reestablish himself? What do you think is the first steps for Max?
I mean, to be honest, to be completely honest, I feel like it's easier now than ever because one, it's just a bunch of popcorn shit out right now. The shit be hot for like a month, 2, 3 months, and then you never hear about it again because it's ass. We talking about real music. You know what I mean? Real vibes. So when you put out real music, lasts a lifetime. We still listening to the shit that Max put out before he went in. You know, and he dropped what Lemonade. He dropped Lemonade from Inside. That hit. So I don't think he's gonna have an issue adjusting. I think it just be a matter of the timing, and we finally gonna get some officially mixed tracks. You know what I'm saying? French is in a better position than he was when Max left. They got more money, so I'm like, it should be a walk in the park, man.
Yeah,
I
it
think
should
if I was in the music,
definitely.
everyone. Go ahead.
Nah, you go ahead, keep going.
Nah, I do believe though that like if you a popcorn rapper right now in the industry, I'd be very nervous.
Very
I'd be
nervous.
very nervous. they they better start lining up their features.
Yeah,
you know, paying for the features because that's the only way I see they gonna be some kind of relevant because I don't
yeah.
see any the attention being on any other artist right now.
I don't see it either. Like I said, a lot of people gonna be close to Max right now. They're gonna be trying to get close to that wave. If you Max, would you go independent right now? Would you look for a deal? I mean, because the music is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a single as early as this week. What should Max do in terms of contract?
I mean, the way he's looking, man, the man just got out. He's a free man. I'd want to stay free. you know what I mean? I'd want to just stay free. But I'm sure he figured it out. Personally, I figured this stay independent.
Well, you got this new podcast thing going on. All these rappers starting podcasts. A lot of this wasn't going on prior to Max going to jail. You see what's going on with Cam and Mace. You see Fat Joe, Jadakiss, other rappers, athletes. Do you see Max, going down the road of possibly starting a podcast, or what do you think about that? Should Max go into that lane, or what do you think?
I mean, the possibilities are endless because, like you said, the game and everything is changing with the podcast and everything. So, like, in terms of like revenue, you want to get back in every department. It would make sense to get into, you know, the shit that's popping right now, as long as it's true to you. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody want to be on podcast talking and shit like that, and that's not for everybody. You know what I mean? But like, I think he should definitely take advantage of the new wave that's out right now in order to, monopolize on everything that's going on and from all angles.
Yeah, I definitely feel you, man, on that front. Like I said, Max can definitely make an impact. He got a lot of club appearances going. What were some of your favorite Max songs? Can you remember some classics? What comes to mind first about Max
One of my
song?
Dead Solver, Paperwork,
Paperwork.
and Paperwork, Dead Solver, Do It Right, and Never Want to Go Back.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
list continues,
paperwork,
man.
man.
The Paperwork was, oh, fucking, Gangrene, Goon Music, Goon Music.
Yeah,
Fuck.
like I said, Max got a lot of music. Max definitely reminds you of when this released from Max. All I could think about is Chinks. I could think about Stacks. I could think about that era of music. What do you think? Those rappers like Stack Bundles and Chinks could have been right now if things didn't happen. Where would Chinks be? Where would Stacks be in your opinion?
Be honest with it, you know, when Stacks was out, I wasn't really tuned into him. That's I wouldn't. I'm not gonna, to speak on that one exactly. But Chinks, I was tuned in with Chinks, and I mean, it would have just been great. It would have been a great opportunity to have all these artists come together and create music, and yeah, to have Chinks and if we could get Chinks, Max, and French on the song right now, that would be ideal. That'd be great. I could just that's like a recipe for a hit. You know, but due to those unfortunate situations and shit like that, unless they got something in the vault, and I'm pretty sure they probably might. You never know. They might be something in the vault we don't know about that come out. So
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. We're gonna be patiently awaiting the release of some new music from Max B. You already know, like I said, some of my favorite music, obviously, the songs that you made. You said the Public Domain 3, that's Paperwork. I remember got locked up, he dropped Public Domain 6. That was the Walk the Plank. That was with Dead Solver. He got locked up and released a bomb. While he was in, and that mixtape was so crazy. I just remember that whole time period. A lot of people, like I said, I remember that era because I was so wrapped up in the music. It was a point in time where everybody was playing Max. It seemed like not you had to play Max. If you wasn't playing Max, what the hell was you doing? You know what I mean? It was just it got to that point. If Max didn't go to jail, do you think that he would have been like where Drake would have been? A lot of people try to compare him to a Drake, and things like that. Where do you think Max would have been if he didn't get locked up? Would he have been the best rapper in the game or something like that, or he would have just been? What do you think?
I mean, well, for one, look at where French is at, and when Max came out, Max is ahead of French. We all know that. You know what I mean? When Max was out, French was under Max. So if you look at where French is at today, you could just imagine where Max would have been had he been out the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm looking on that Instagram right now. Max got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, he getting himself right. He got a lot of club appearances. Everybody was there to greet Max. That's what you want to see, when a dude coming home. We talk about a lot of these rappers coming home from jail. Um, I would say that they did Max B correctly. Those people was waiting for Max at the gates, as soon as he walked out. You know, do you feel like Max was greeted correctly? It's not like he had to take any type of other transportation, or they were there with him. I see big trucks out there. They came to get Max. What does that say about the support that he has from guys like French and the industry and shit like that?
I mean, sure, like that's how you're supposed to move. When you got people that fuck with you, that's how you're supposed to show up. You know what I mean? And just them showing up as they did was just an indication that it is still what it's been. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm looking at
Throughout the
all
whole
the support.
time he's been going.
Yeah. So definitely free Max. Do you want to see a solo tape for Max, or something with French right away? What should the people be waiting on?
I listen. I'm me being a Max B fan. I'm just about certain we ain't gonna wait too long before something drops. Something's about to drop. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time, and I don't know if it's gonna be a track or fucking or album, because Max said when he got out he was going straight to work. He said he was going
Yeah.
straight to work. So I could imagine they'll be in the studio sometime tonight if they ain't in there already. And yeah, man, I gotta say, but the process might be a little different now. So like I say, it's November at the latest, the end of the month. You know what I mean? But I'm sure we have something sooner than that. You know what I mean? An introductory song or something. You know what I mean? For him being free, first day out type shit. But it's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot more things going on. It's flight sports. I definitely wanted to release something on Max coming home today. Also, I'm gonna discuss and break down a lot of things that's coming out for Max as the days, the hours, conclude. You never know. Max might do something to go viral in the next 10 minutes. This is the kind of wave that we are about to witness. I know a lot of people wasn't around for this time period. But now with social media where it's at today, I believe that Max is just going to be able to go right back into what he was doing. And I believe the music is going to speak for itself. Good music cannot be denied. And we're going to see it firsthand. You're going to see that. I'm telling you, I truly believe that Max is going to release good quality music. He is next to French. People can say whatever they want to say about French. French has done a lot in this music industry. He's connected with a lot of rappers. His production is top notch, and I expect Max to receive top level production. I don't believe that his production is going to be what it was prior, where it was more underground. I think this production is going to be elite level. The type of production you see French get. This is what I believe that's coming from Max. So the music is going to be undeniable. There's going to be can't miss records coming from Max B. And I believe another Coke Wave album is in store. So make sure all the people stay tuned. Kulos, I know you got a lot of things going on. I definitely wanted you to touch bases on Max. We're going to get with you, man. Where can the people get your social media and everything?
the clothing page, Felipe Exotico. Y'all can find that on Instagram too. And appreciate you having me, Flight Sports TV. You already know.
Yeah, yeah. You already know. Shout out to the people. Man, definitely, man. Free Max B, free the Boss Don Bigger Valley. The Boss Don, man, is just the beginning, for Max B. Max is going to take the game back, in my humble opinion. It's just going to take some time. He's got to get reacclimated, but I think it's going to be a fast and smooth transition. He's got I believe he got the right people around him. A lot of people talk about who you got around you. If all these people around Max right now has got him working. People could say this, they could say that. They don't got him out doing. They got him immediately working. The man has bookings. The man has a show tonight. The man just got released a few hours ago. So the team that he has around him, I believe, is doing their jobs. Now it's time for Max to do his job, and I think he's going to be more equipped for it. I'm pretty sure he was geared up all throughout the time period, and he was releasing records. He was on songs with people while he was in jail. He put out songs. So people really need to go do their homework. He put out even a tape, I think it was called House Money. He had features with Dave East. He was on some albums with with French Montana. He was doing some things. He made some appearances. So he was always kind of in the mix of, the new sounds, the changes, and things like that. So with elite top level production, I just think that it's going to be a can't miss situation for Max B. It's only a matter of time. But I mean, it's here. It's so much that we could talk about. And I know a lot of people want to talk about the BS. I know everybody want to talk about the situation with Jim. I know if people look at, I tell you what, the way, we just had a situation. Jim Jones, he had a big party for Mel Matrix. Now, Mel Matrix is not necessarily a big artist like Max B. So you don't expect to see all these industry guys coming out, to greet, a Mel Matrix. So I know a lot of people are immediately going to say, man, there's differences and changes between what happened with Mel Matrix and Max B. Look how Max B was greeted. They was all at the facility waiting for Max. So you can't expect that. Max is a different level in the industry. Like I said, Max was actually making music. He was putting out tapes. I don't believe Mel Matrix had a handful of albums or tapes or anything like that. Of course he had a lot of good music, but he didn't have the catalog that Max B has. And we still can't wait to hear the music coming from Mel Matrix. But it's going to be interesting to see, man. I believe that New York rap scene is about to turn it up a notch. And it's time. It's time for New York, an injection of life for New York City, because it's just been a complete mess. And hopefully this will get French back on his A game. I know a lot of people look at French like, oh, he don't do this and he ain't like that. And, French, if you do your homework, French come from, some lyricism. The man came from the Fight Club scene with the rap battle. And if people need to do their homework, French was doing battle rap. French was rapping. He was spitting bars and punchlines when he was with Max. Maybe with Max, and then you even heard French say, guys like Max B, Chinks, they motivated him. Now he's got motivation. You got Max looking to come back to reclaim everything that he lost. And now you got, I believe you're going to hear another type of version of French. I think we're going to get back to those gritty bars, the lyrics. I think the punchlines are going to come out. I think everything is going to connect and make sense, and I'm telling you, you're going to hear a new version of French too, so I can't wait to see these two guys collaborate. I believe that French and Max was going to be a group. These guys, obviously, you look at them as solo artists, but I believe if French and Max didn't go, I believe if Max didn't go to jail and shit like that, I believe French and Max would have been some type of group. I don't know what they would have been called or what, but they was leaning towards that, some type of something. They were gonna be a group. Now they could do their solo things on the side, but French and Max, that was another type of connection where they could have went on all kind of stuff and got a deal off that alone. So don't be surprised if the music that come from French and Max, they're able to get even another deal, on top of whatever, if Max wants to go down that route. But like I said, French is already signed already. We all know what's going on with him. So let's see what it was going like. In French, the man is married to the Queen of Morocco. You even heard when Max hugged French Montana, he said, "We going to Morocco." So French probably already let it be known that there's a lot of money waiting for him when he get to Morocco, and this, that, and the third. I'm telling you, Max is gonna get everything, that he's supposed to get. This is gonna be another level. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something different, in my opinion, for Max B. And I can't wait, to see it firsthand, coming from Max. So listen, man, it's Flight Sports TV. Make sure you hit the like button if you're new. Most definitely hit the subscribe button. Free the boss, Don Bigger Val. We don't have to say that no more. The man is back. Like I said, I got a lot more stuff to discuss, but I wanted to celebrate Max B today. It's Flight Sports TV.